You started talking about the NPS score. You started talking about CSAT scores, whole customer experience. So there are surveys that have been out for a long time that percent of marketers feel that the customer experience is the greatest differentiator, long-term sustainable differentiator that the company has. In SaaS, the minute we think we have a product feature that's going to take us into the future, it's copied. It's not sustainable. Selling off product, that's one of the legs of the pillars that we have to stand on. Yet 60% of marketers don't feel like they have the customer service organization in order to create that competitive advantage.
There's a fabulous book called Effortless Experience, and it's written by one of the same people that wrote Challenger Sale, actually. So it's like a very smart go-to-market person. And if you read this book and you start to understand the impact of something you mentioned earlier, which is this quarter's brand is next quarter's demand, this quarter's terrible CSAT scores and NPS equals your incredibly negative dark funnel, which equals this quarter's brand not being next quarter's demand. So this is why understanding things like NPS and transactional NPs are super important to a CMO coming in the door, because you have to know what you're working with. If you got a massively negative reputation out in a private Facebook group where all your customers are talking with each other, or in a round table where they are involved and you're not in it, that can and will bite you. And a lot of that is very hard for a CMO in their original year of service to overcome, because it is a 6-year problem. Every terrible brand experience has a 6-year repercussion, not a 2-quarter repercussion. So there's this expectation of the board that you're going to come in with this new messaging and positioning and you're going to solve that. You're not going to solve that. That is a fundamental flaw of the company's business go-to-market. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't take that job. It just means you got to go in eyes wide open with an agreement with the board and the CEO of what the 3-year plan is and how long it's going to take you to help fix some of those things, and with the understanding of what's going to be happening in the customer success organization to improve those scores, or in the product. No company is perfect. No product is perfect. No success motion is perfect. But if you have terrible product NPS and terrible transactional NPS, it doesn't matter if the market's growing crazy. You're never going to be able to capture your fair share of that market. And that could be a not good place for you to make the relative investment of your precious time as a CMO. So these are just all the things you need to think about as you're getting ready to take on this role and thinking about, will you fail or not fail?
And so what you're doing is you're saying, I'm expanding quite a bit the traditional role of CMO, because the CMO's traditional role in customer support, customer experience, that was a different department. The employee NPS score. I had on a podcast the CRO of the year last year and his CMO. They attributed 50% of their success to their company culture.
There's a reason why there's so much discussion about culture, because culture will make or break a team and culture will make or break a company. So I get that. And I think you can understand culture, and employee NPS isn't just about culture. It's about all the other intangibles, but the culture signals the acceptance of a terrible travel policy where you're sitting in the back of the bus flying red eyes to save money, or taking 3 stops when you should have been flying a nonstop, but it was more expensive. Like, that kills employee morale. Pay equity, that will kill employee morale. Micromanagement, that will kill employee morale. And all of those things are culture from the top.